take a look at some complex algebra fractions, shall we? Go. The first place we're going to start is up here in the numerator because I have a fraction minus another fraction and I want to combine those. To do fraction subtraction, you know you need to have a common denominator. So this denominator is y, this denominator is x. In order to make them a common denominator, we want to make them both have the denominator xy. Well, how do I do that? I multiply x into the top and the bottom, right? I'm going to multiply by x over x. So that's how I get my xy down there. And up here, that means I get an x squared. Careful, not a 2x, right? This is multiplication. And to remind you, the reason I can do that is because what's x over x? It's 1. And what's multiplying anything by 1? Itself. So in multiplying this by x over x, I changed the form of it, but not the value, right? I could cancel that x out of top and bottom and be right back where I started. Here, I'm multiplying top and bottom by y. That gives me my xy on the bottom and my y squared on the top. Now that I have a common denominator, I can subtract. So to remind yourself, my denominator stays the same, right? It doesn't become 0 or something like that. But my numerator becomes x squared minus y squared, which is great news because that's what I had on the bottom of the original fraction. So I can already have a sense of how this is going to finish up. Now, I have fraction in my numerator divided by a denominator. Well, how do you divide with fractions? The little jingle, don't ask why, just flip and multiply. Flip what, I hear you cry? Well, you can always take something and put it over 1. So now I'm going to flip and multiply and rewrite it down here. So there's my numerator, just written down here. Now I'm going to flip and I'm going to multiply. Okay, so when I multiply, I can cross cancel. Now, take care. I am not canceling an x squared with an x squared. I can't do that because those are individual terms. But that is an entire term and that is an entire term. So I may cross cancel those, leaving me with 1 over xy as my beautifully simplified version of this complicated fraction. All right, take a look at some other videos on my Algebra 2 playlist. Consider subscribing to my channel so you know when I put out a new video. And as always, keep on mathing.